Kamala Harris has never worked at a McDonald's, but you see, they try to make her seem as if she's this working class hero. It's really fascinating watching football games and seeing the political advertisements that are being run. Do you notice that they are not really playing the Donald Trump was a convicted felon, Donald Trump has been impeached card? It's really interesting. When you watch the advertisements, there is one political advertisement in particular that I don't even want to show on this airwaves because I don't want to give them free advertising. But it's by FFPAC. FFPAC must be ranking in hundreds of millions of dollars. And interestingly, FFPAC, if you type it in, not a single New York Times article about FFPAC. Isn't that interesting, Andrew? Not a single New York Times article. Instead, you type in Turning Point. We have 9 different articles a week about the type of salsa that Tyler Boyer puts on his tacos. Yeah, we have 3 inquiries just today. But interestingly, Future Forward PAC, which reportedly they just did a $108 million ad spending blitz for Joe Biden during 2020, and now is doing hundreds of millions of dollars, and they took money from Sam Bankman-Fried. Yet, for whatever reason, they don't get any articles written about them. It's so strange how that works. So FFPAC, Future Forward PAC, is running this ad. And again, they have all the money in the world. But what is the ad that they're running? The ad that they're running is that Donald Trump is for billionaires. Kamala Harris is for you, the middle-class worker. I mean, perfectly honest, I find this messaging to be fascinating. It's fascinating because it goes to show that all of their other peripheral attacks, Donald Trump is a felon, Donald Trump is unstable, all this is not penetrating. Instead, the one that is bothering them the most is that everyday Americans and everyday voters are thinking about their pocketbook. So they have this ridiculous advertisement of this guy who's watching this iPad saying, I'm not rich as hell, and that's why I'm voting for Kamala Harris. It just is so banal and just silly. But it's actually very encouraging for the framing of what we want this election to be. And do you know what I have not heard for a while? Has anybody seen an extended period of time of them calling Donald Trump a threat to democracy? That was their number one talking point back in the spring and the summer. And it's not as if they don't believe it or whatever. It's that it's not working. Is that saying that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy is not working. So instead, they have to go straight to pocketbook issues. And that goes to show the fact that that advertisement is coming back to us is a mirror image of what the electorate is. They've obviously poll tested it and realized that more people think about Democrats actually being a threat to democracy. Interesting how that works. And they are. Let's put Donald Trump in prison, Steve Bannon in prison, let's put Peter Navarro in prison. Let's try to kick Donald Trump off the ballot. You remember that? Do you remember that Donald Trump they were trying to kick off the ballot? So Democrats think that they're going to win based on 4 things. A combination of 4 things. And this is from Mark Halperin. They think that abortion is this hidden vote and this invisible vote that is currently underrepresented in the polls. They might be right. Democrats have overperformed every single election in the polling, both special elections and midterm elections, since the reversal of Roe versus Wade. Number 2, they're betting on their ground game. They have thousands of full-time operatives and organizers on the ground. Now, to number 2, I will say this. Their ground game has not been reflected in overwhelming early vote numbers yet. So we will wait and see. Number 3, they think that women are going to vote in much bigger numbers than men, and that the women vote will actually overwhelm the system. Now, interestingly, a poll this weekend showed that that is not necessarily true. That, yes, Kamala Harris is leading Donald Trump with women, but she's actually only doing as well with women as Joe Biden did with women. There's no extra female boost. And finally, Democrats are counting on a Trump fatigue or a Trump ceiling. That Donald Trump's movement can't possibly get any bigger, that Donald Trump has plateaued, that Donald Trump will hit a ceiling. Now, this final one is fascinating because that is a core orthodoxy of the consultant class on the center left and the center right. That there's always this belief that, okay, Donald Trump has this base that Trump can't expand his base. We see very little evidence of that, actually. We see that Donald Trump's base is getting younger, getting more diverse, people that work with their hands, that it's not divided based on race, but instead it's divided based on class, that more people are supporting Trump than previously. So those four things, Democrats need all four of them to go well, that a hidden abortion vote, a substantial ground game, that a women vote overwhelms the system, and that there's Trump fatigue and a ceiling. And we'll see what happens. But that's a lot of different combination factors and a lot of inputs and a lot of star alignment in order for them to be successful.